All right. So I was just going to post the video that Diane and I had regarding skincare, but I decided I would quickly summarize the pops that came up for me in speaking with her and the things that I think are most important. But if you do have a chance, I would highly recommend that you jump onto the YouTube link that I posted and listen to the whole thing because Diane shared a lot of insights, and I think that we all want to try to hold on to our youthful skin as long as we possibly can. So I'm just going to quickly recap some of the things that stood out to me. And one of the things that I have been told by her and by other people is that you don't necessarily have to go to a dermatologist to get products that are really effective for your skin. So I asked her about that, and she had, after some research that she had done on her own, suggested that the Oil of Olay line has really come a long way. As a matter of fact, that is actually the product line that I use for my face. And she also mentioned that L'Oreal also has a line. So both of these lines you can get at CVS, at Costco even. The Oil of Olay, Costco often seems to have coupons for that. So just making sure that you're looking at the ingredients. And if you do want to invest any money in decent skincare products, the things that she recommended that you do go pharmaceutical grade are the vitamin C oil or serum, and a vitamin A, which is basically, we've all heard the retinol, right? So those were the two things that she suggested that we seek pharmaceutical grade products for. The one other comment she made, which is very common for many women, that as we get older, because the nature of our skin and the lack of estrogen, the skin does tend to thin out, and we can tend to get what's called rosacea. So redness in your cheeks, maybe in your chin. And again, that happens as our skin is thinning out with the lack of estrogen that we have. It's basically the blood vessels that are coming up towards the surface of our skin. And she had mentioned that hyaluronic acid is really good for rosacea because what it does is hydrates the surface of the skin, which kind of plumps it up so you don't necessarily see the rosacea. The other thing we talked about was how to actually apply the products and what order would things go on. She did recommend that you should be washing your face first thing in the morning when you wake up and before you go to bed, and that you would want to put your products on from thinnest to thickest. So wash your face in the morning, usually liquid vitamin C because that's the thinnest. Then you would apply your hyaluronic acid. That's a little bit thicker, a little bit more like a gel. Then you would apply your moisturizer and then follow that up with the sunscreen. And then at night, you would basically do the same thing, but replace the vitamin C with your retinol. So I thought that was super helpful. And the other thing she mentioned is to make sure you're stroking upwards with your product, and don't forget about your neck and your chest, which is definitely something I'm guilty about. And she also mentioned applying the product on your hand versus just putting it on your fingers and slathering it all over your face. So that we often forget about moisturizing our hands. And that is something that we can certainly benefit from as well. So apply your product on the back of your hands and then use your opposite fingers and hand to spread the product. And then we also talked about the treatments that are beneficial as we get older. The first one was microdermabrasion. And if you get that done professionally, what they do is basically take a scalpel and they scrape your face to get off all the dead skin cells and the superficial hair, which I don't know about you, but I definitely have started to notice a little bit of hair growth, little tiny hairs on my face that I didn't used to have before. So takes that off. Then there is microdermabrasion, where you actually use a machine to hand pierce. There's a diamond crusted tip, and it's like sanding your face. And then sanding off the face basically causes a thermal injury, which is a heat-related injury, which then stimulates the collagen to send new skin up to the surface. Obviously, you would need to go someplace to have microdermabrasion done. And the last thing we talked about was microneedling. And that's basically when you go across the skin with a microneedling pen, which is about 16 to 32 stainless steel little needles on it. And what that does is punctures the skin, which causes, again, that wound heal response in your skin. So then it then stimulates the cells to turn over and the collagen to come up to the surface to give you fresh skin. The microderma blades, you can find them at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or you can order them online. I know I have one that has a little light, so it helps you feel, helps you be able to see a little bit better. And those blades are actually replaceable. So you can replace them as they get more dull. Obviously, that's going to be safer to do on yourself than actually using a blade. If you are going to do any of these procedures on yourself, she did mention that there are 28 days in a skin cycle, which means that it takes 28 days for what's in your subdermis to get up to the dermis, and then 28 days from that to get up to the top layer of the skin, and then 28 days additionally for that to exfoliate. So you're going to want to do this, something like this, every 4 weeks, and just be prepared that you're probably going to need at least 3 skin cycles or 3 months to really see a difference in your skin. If you are doing this, again, at home on your own, you're also going to want to do this on a monthly basis. And the last thing we talked about, which you can certainly watch the replay about, is her thoughts on Botox, which I did not realize that is actually a brand, even though that is the most popular brand. There are other brands of that as well. And filler to just make your skin look a little more youthful, and that those are both injectables. So highly recommend, if you have a moment, to watch that video, recap the to get more than just this recap. She is super knowledgeable. She's been doing skin for quite a long time and actually worked in a doctor's office who did all kinds of skin procedures. So definitely check it out. But with that, I am going to end the live, and I will see you guys next week.